am going to be making a lemon pound cake today. So we are gonna try this recipe and see how it goes. I've never made this one before, so I have no idea how it's gonna taste. Hopefully good. I did make some lemon like bars a few weeks ago, and they were pretty good, but a little heavy-handed on the lemon. So this one calls for a little less of that. So hopefully it's not quite as bitter and a little more sweet. I love a good pound cake, but this is obviously a keto version. So, and today I thought I'd show you guys the products that I'm using as well as going through the recipe. So I'm gonna start with, you wanna mix your dry ingredients and then your wet ingredients separate, mix them all up, and then add them together after you get them mixed individually. So we'll start with our dry ingredients here first. So the first thing we're gonna do is 1.5 cups of almond flour. And the almond flour that I've been really liking is from Costco. Looks like this, it's a 3-pound bag. It works really good, has a good flavor to it, good texture. We've tried coconut flour and we have just decided that we don't like coconut flour. It doesn't really have, in my opinion, a very nice texture to it. It makes things really dry and grainy. The almond flour definitely seems to give a better texture to everything we've made so far. Okay, next in there you're going to use a confectioner's sweetener, so like a powdered sugar, but not sugar. And that I have, I'm looking at my recipe here, it's 1/2 cup. And the brand that I'm using for that is Swerve. And I only use Swerve for the confectioners. I actually don't like Swerve for a regular sugar replacement. I think it has a kind of a funky aftertaste, so we use monk fruit sweetener. But this recipe is calling for a confectioner's style of sugar. So we're trying this here and seeing how it works. Okay, next is gonna be a teaspoon of baking powder, and that's just any, nothing special there, just any baking powder will work. And then I love when recipes do this because with baking you have to be pretty specific. It says, the recipe literally says a pinch of salt. So I'm gonna just guess here and see if that's enough. Okay, I think that is it for my dry ingredients. So I'm just gonna whisk them all together so that they are all evenly dispersed in there and ready to be mixed in with the wet ingredients when we get to that point here. So this looks pretty well mixed here. Again, there's no wet ingredients, just the dry ingredients. So we'll kind of set that off to the side. Grab the next bowl here, and then we'll go back and do the wet ingredients. Next I have cream cheese. So this is 3.5 ounces, so just under 1/2 of a block of cream cheese. Again, if you're doing for keto, you wanna make sure you're using full fat cream cheese. If you're just making this, it's like gluten-free. So if you're just using that as for that recipe, you can use a reduced fat if you want for cream cheese. 4 tablespoons of coconut oil. So for this kind of cooking, you don't want like the solidified coconut oil, you want a liquid coconut oil. This is the brand I'm using. We got it at Woodman's. And then 4 large eggs. So I've already cracked those and put those in a dish here, but it's whole eggs, so yolk and the whites. And then the next thing I'm gonna use is lemon juice. You can use lemon extract also, but you're gonna wanna use less of it because it's more potent. But I didn't have lemon extract, so I'm using lemon juice instead. And that we are going to do about 3 teaspoons. You want the pound cake to have a nice lemon flavor, but not to be so sour you can't eat it, which is kind of like what happened to my lemon bars. So not going for that this time. Last thing we're gonna put in here is a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and you wanna get pure vanilla extract. You don't wanna do the imitation stuff because that has sugar in it. And then we're going to use a hand mixer and mix this all up. So once you have that all mixed up, it's gonna be blended together pretty well and be kind of frothy. So next what we're gonna do is grab that bowl that had all your dry ingredients, and we're gonna just pour the wet ingredients into that. Okay, and then it says to use the hand mixer, so I'm gonna do that, but I like to just kind of mix it up just a little bit and get it everything kind of damp so that the powder doesn't go flying everywhere when you turn the mixer on. Okay, so it doesn't take much. There's really not a lot to this batter, which is nice. It makes it go pretty quick. Before doing this, you're going to want to preheat your oven to 350, which I already have mine at that. Yep, it's ready to go. And then you can use a loaf pan or you can use an 8x8. I'm gonna use an 8x8 Pyrex here. I already have that pre-greased. You can use parchment paper if you want otherwise. But again, you can, if you're following keto, you're gonna wanna use olive oil, like a spray, or you can use butter. I'm using an olive oil spray that I got from Costco, which I don't have around with me at the moment to show you. But, okay. So we're gonna just get all your batter into your pan. All right, and then when you get that evenly in there, you're gonna pop it into your oven. The recipe calls for 30 minutes. I'm gonna do 20 minutes and check it, only because my oven seems to run a little hot. So I find that if I do stuff the full length of a recipe, it burns. So I'm gonna do 20 minutes. And then once I get that out of the oven, I'm gonna do a part 2 of this video and show you guys the glaze for the top. But for now, we will just end this and stick around for part 2. One cake is done. I had it in the oven for about 28 minutes, and it turned out perfect, or at least it looks good. I've given it time to cool, so now we're gonna make the glaze to go on top. It's really, really simple. So we are going to do a 1/4 cup of, again, that confectioner's swerve. Next ingredient is a tablespoon of almond milk. So for almond milk, we use unsweetened vanilla. Currently we have Walmart brand going on. So 1 tablespoon of that. And then we're just gonna mix it together in my little dish here. Okay, so it's just gonna make a kind of a paste like that. And I am going to just put it on my pound cake here and spread it out. Call it a day, and hopefully it tastes good. I will try it out and let you guys know. Thanks for watching.